I should say, not unfortunate. A very fortunate thing happened yesterday. I'm now sharing for today. CMF Series 24 has arrived in my area. I was able to pick up 19 packs, and I'm going to open them live on camera for you all today. I'm hoping to get a full series out of this. Obviously, hope for a couple of duplicates. I will be marking them off to the side of the screen, so I make sure that I know what we've picked up. So, already sent the message out to everywhere. Hopefully you all get to tune in as it happens live. I literally did not feel any of these packs. I just grabbed them and went. So, let's see, out of 19, what I find. Going right into it, not going to feel them anytime before that. Not going to make any predictions of what comes first or next. We're just going to go right in. If I do get the whole series, I would love to do a video or have a post about it, so be sure to subscribe and follow through all the socials for more information. Okay, our first one, I actually don't know what the names are, which also helps having them up separately on Brick Set. As if the names didn't have a lot of specific things to it. Newspaper Kid is our first one. So, Newspaper Kid has short legs. Good to remember. It's got some good arm printing. It feels like the ones from, I don't even know if it was called the Yuppie, but I know a bunch of people called it that. From that like 80s looking figure, the Miami Vice kind. The arm printing looks similar, but different. It is actually, in fact, different. I do like that the suspenders link up with the torso as well. I do apologize, this may not be the greatest of lighting, but again, if everything is collected here, then you will see them much better later. As far as the head goes, there is no alternate head print. There's just one because of the beret that is on top. Very nice there. Got the, yep, I knew the newspaper had to say extra. Extra. I don't even know if you can actually read what the tile says there. Give me one moment to read it a little bit away from the camera. If there are words in there, it's hard to tell what they are. It's like any of the spaces in between have kind of been blurred, kind of blocked up. So it's a little hard to read it, unfortunately. But you can see that the classic policeman is featured on there. The Select Collectible Minifigure Series 8 policeman, to be exact. You know what? I'm going to keep the stream running, but I'm going to do something for y'all. I'm going to get you a better light. Because unfortunately, one of the lights... Actually, two of the bulbs are out. I need to get you a better light to see everything more clearly. So, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. It'll take a second. Okay, not a second. Almost a second. I'm going to keep stalling like this because things. The stream is actually running. Do not leave yet. We've only just begun. And there we go. Bippity boppity boop. I found the light. There we go. I guess it'd be good to plug in and turn on the light, but we are here. We are going. And we are making it happen. So our first one is Newspaper Kid. For those joining in, welcome to the stream. Very lucky to have 19 collectible minifigure packs from Series 24 to open for today. Bam! Look at that. Let's take a closer look at that again. That's looking mighty fine better this time around. So as I mentioned before, the printing on the arms, having that little detail in the sleeves is similar, but it is different from the Yuppie or Miami Vice kind of figure from one of the earlier collectible minifigure series. The printing on the tile, it just says extra. It is very difficult to read on top of the extra or even the headline underneath, but you can tell by the photo this is the classic policeman from Series 18, which is homage to the first Lego minifigure, first articulated Lego minifigure from 1978. We do get an extra slingshot in here in dark brown, very nice, and a dark tan for the band itself. Give me one moment, because I do have to balance this light. It's one of those bar lights. So it's kind of just, it's all good. As for the checklist, our backside has a win section with the classic feedback area, and it also shows a couple of assemblies, mostly relating to the goblin figure, the mech, the pottery girl, and the one riding the horse. Which is kind of interesting for this one, but okay, sure, it's there. These are definitely more altogether builds, you know, a little bit more happening with that and knowing which order to put things on. So fair enough there. And then we have our checklist itself, freshly opened. So there's the order of everybody. This is our first one, 1 of 12. Give me one moment. There, oh, perfect. All right. I'll move that over here. Oh, it wants to move back in frame. Okay, sure. Whatever. Thank you very much for leaving a like on the stream. Very much helps. I hope to see more people coming on in. Now, as far as, remember, these are $5 figures. They are $5 in the US. They were just released. I found them at Target. As far as this one, I don't know if it's really worth the $5 compared to other figures. The beret is a new piece entirely. That is good. It is nice having an extra slingshot. I'll give it that. But other than that, a lot of other pieces are very basic. So I don't really know if I could really say much for it, or even the printing. Maybe the arm printing. Okay. So our second figure in here, I gotta look back on our screen, is the Falconer, as it's described on brickset.com. I got it pulled up to the side. That's why the mouse is there. The Falconer, hailing from the Black Falcon group. Of our Falcon itself. Excuse me. Excuse me again. And the rest of our pieces are in a bag. Now, this is something that I've been trying to play around with since 2018 or so, when the bags inside of the CMF bags were basically introduced in... It was either Unikitty or one around Unikitty. I don't know if there's any randomness for these figures being in particular bags, or if there's actually a rhyme or reason to it. For example, does every Falconer arrive in a bag? I'm not entirely sure. But if we have enough duplicates, we might be able to find out through this series. Now, as far as this one goes, we have one cape piece that is included. The printing for the figure is exclusive. While it does resemble a lot like the other Black Falcon pieces we've seen before, it is its own thing. Oh my goodness. We do have some back printing on the torso to go with that. So basically just carrying from the cape design, if you have the cape removed from here. And it still has a little bit of that, you know, chain look, that necklace kind of, not necklace. I'm not going to be able to get all the right words. Arm printing. No arm printing on the right hand, right arm. There is arm printing on the left arm to provide a safeguard for carrying the Falcon. The kind of thing that while bird handling you would kind of need. And we have a plain red hairpiece. Plain red hairpiece. Kind of the same one as Marion Ravenwood from Indiana Jones, for one point of reference. So it kind of has a braid along the back of it. There is no, there is an alternate face. There we go. So kind of more smiling expression. It's similar to the one that we see on a lot of images, and the other one shown on the checklist. All good there. Printing along the legs. So dual molded legs. I have dark brown along the bottoms of them for the boots, which, depending on your Black Falcon army building, may or may not change things up, or may have to be its own troop in order to do that. But I could see people getting this, duplicating the figure, replacing the arm, and then making it into its own legion of sorts with the Black Falcon armies. I'm talking about you, Shy Time. I definitely am talking about you. So he's got some pouches along here, which I'm not sure if they're also supposed to go for the Falcon particularly, but nice to see. And it does have a bow in dark tan, which I don't think was made in that color before. So that is neat. Usually it appears in brown, reddish brown, black. A little bit of dark green, maybe, unless I'm thinking of another kind of bow, like a Green Arrow figure would normally have a dark green bow. All right, this one is a little bit easier to feel because there's one large piece, and I did feel this a little bit in the store before, thinking, I'll just pick up whatever I see. But again, don't know the order of them, but I do know this. It was pretty easy to find this figure, the Rococo Aristocrat. I don't know the actual pronunciation of this one. Let's see what Google has to say. Rococo. What is that? Of or relating to an artistic style, especially of the 18th century, characterized by fanciful curved or symmetrical forms and elaborate ornamentation. Yeah, that. definitely covers it there. It is a form of art movement. Can I get a pronunciation on that? I should probably get the... Sound doesn't go through the speakers, so I'm going to have to do this off to the side. One moment. Rococo. So Rococo is the pronunciation according to Google Translate. Take that as you will. So we only have a couple of pieces to go with this figure. As far as this one being a $5 figure, I think it's actually a pretty good value, given the cape, the Falcon. This is good right there. As far as this figure, definitely a lot of the budget goes into the hairpiece being brand new, which is a nice female powdered wig. And this piece, which is rather large, even though it is very hollow. We do have two expressions on here as well. So one where she's smiling. Both of them have a lot of makeup on both sides. And then one more mouth open. I don't know if it's intentional. And it's kind of hard to tell from here. But there are a couple of little dots I see from the bottom here, a little bit on the top, around these edges of the printing. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be intentional. There's a closer look there at all the outfit. And from the back. And our dog. So this is the same Chihuahua piece that we've had for a long time, now colored in white, which is nice if you do like collecting Lego animals. I guess there could be white dogs like this in real life. You take a little red Sharpie, put a dot on one of them, and you can make it a Target dog. Since I got it from Target, that sounds like a fun idea. Even though they actually, they've technically made a Lego Target dog before, not as a one-piece thing, or only as a render on gift cards. But they've made it as a buildable Lego Target dog for Lego gift cards. Currently, right now, Lego gift cards are available in Target. They have one of, I believe, 3 designs. One of them could be a Santa minifigure. One of them could be, I don't know if it's Blue Spaceman or specifically Benny. I have to look at it again. With a Target dog in the render, like I said before. And the third one being Super Mario with the digital Mario figure. Okay, so our third one, at least we got all original ones right now. We got the Rocking Horse Rider. So it's a child with a rocking horse, which is a brand new element in a very similar style to the horses we see in Lego, especially that work on the front of it. Does it rock? Yeah, a little bit. It does work. That is important. It does have one stud connection along the bottom, so you can place it on there. This is pretty plain otherwise. For a $5 value, the head, if it's not exact from a freckled minifigure face, before It's very close to it, and by that metric, I say, not great. The torso is neat, although, looks like a torso you could find in plenty of other collectible minifigs, or even just standard Lego sets, I mean. Um, Other parts in here, pretty basic. This piece in this color has been released several times, so it's not as special, although it is nice here, just in case you didn't get it before. Like, if you didn't buy Toy Story 4 sets, I guess maybe one or two other minifigures. I think one of them might have even been collectible minifigures that had it in this color particularly. But I mean, it's not a new color, so nothing exciting there. So we can fit our minifigure on there. No handlebars to hold on to. Just kind of hold on by the middle. And can you rock him with the minifig on there? Well, not that way. That's better. You get a lot more rocking back and forth action with that. Or you just keep tilting them over. There we go. Now the bigger question, literally bigger question, can you put Oscar on there? I'm just grabbing a standard minifigure to be sure it can still fit. He's gonna have a little bit more balancing issue. But yep, you can rock a regular minifigure on here as well. I would imagine that it would work the same way across any type of minifig because the legs should attach the same way. Thank you very much, Rye. we got 15 more packs, so chances are good we could get a Spaceman and Space Baby. This one again having a little bit of balance issue, but still attaches fairly. And thank you for joining the stream as well. Very much appreciated. For those who don't know, I have a book, and we are less than a month away from the Kickstarter for that book, Bizarre Lego, ending. So be sure to check that out. Oh, one moment. A second newspaper kid, which, yes, if you want to make newsies, this is fine. But I'm not going to build a second one. You've already seen what the first one looks like. If you missed it already, be sure to scroll back in the stream and you could see all about it. So as I was mentioning, I have a book, Bizarre Lego, on Kickstarter. Be sure to check that out so that you can consider supporting or sharing the word around. Even just sharing about it without contributing is a big help just to get the word out there. Very grateful for that. And because of that, here we are, our Spaceman. Why brown? Why not? I guess. This is the Brown Astronaut and Space Baby. According to Brickset, it's one word, Space Baby. Now we can put together all of our beloved 2001 Space Odyssey parody homages. So we have a reddish-brown torso, a reddish-brown pair of oxygen tanks. Richie, how's it going? Artur World, I did see you upload recently, so welcome back to the YouTube side of things. Thank you, Rye, for blessing me with the Spaceman. I'm much appreciated. A reddish-brown visor piece, or headpiece with visor dimples. New style. Well, good thing I built the Galaxy Explorer recently, because now they got one more occupant. Newer style of walkie-talkie, which has probably been around for a while, and I just keep forgetting that because I look at the back of it and I'm like, wait, where's the... That's not what I've seen before. 1x2 tile with baby monitor. Very cute idea. I love that. It's simple. It's effective. It's in the style. It works well. 3 Z's on it. 3 little dashes. Baby monitor. And the baby itself. So, unlike the previous Lego babies, where they would have a headpiece, this is what you get. You get the head, oxygen tanks, and helmet as one new element. And then the printing along the torso for the baby. Same connection points and everything like that. So if I were to put him into the minifig's hand, it clicks, it connects. And now it just looks like it's zero gravity. So, Yeah, it's one piece. I was really curious about that, especially with the oxygen tanks, but it makes sense. It's such a small point to connect on there. It might as well have it as one whole piece, so nothing is too fragile. Now time to do unorthodox things. Again, just testing everything out. A-okay. Space Baby. There we are. Well, I can definitely say this is worth the $5 because not only do you get a collectible minifigure, whole new color of it, and all the appropriate parts, new recolors of parts, you also get the Space Baby, which is definitely exciting. You get, the accessories are good. Yes, this is worth the value. I am not biased at all. Back again for the first time. Let's see how long. Yeah, no worries. It was a good video that you had. I forgot to comment, but I did watch it all the way through. It's a good subject. All right. Space Baby. Now, it'd be proper to build a little nursery mock, assuming brown spacemen are like some sort of domestic unit, but I want to make a sanitation mock for them. Yeah, good point. A friend of mine had actually modified his Galaxy Explorer in preparation. You gotta prep for the baby. In preparation for the Space Baby. So he does have a crib and its own little room towards the back of the Galaxy Explorer, which is really cute. I like that idea. But the show must go on. Number 7, as we already had one duplicate, is just another Falconer. Hey, can't complain about that. Like I said before, this is the kind of figure you would definitely want to get multiples of if you like your Falcon Army building. Shy time is my time. I'm talking about you again. Because when I think Black Falcons, I think of him and his endless army of them. It's spanning from classic to Neo versions of all these torsos we've gotten recently. So this one is a new figure. There we go. And a soccer ball. Hey, soccer ball itself is a good bang for your buck part of this. Because if you like GBC building, these tend to go up in price. So we have ourselves a referee, a football referee. Yeah. They call it specifically a football referee on the site. I also forgot to add in, got 2 of those, 2 of those. Good, cool. 2 faces. Oh, I don't know why it stopped. I love how I'm watching you open a series 24 packs as I write a script about why LEGO should end. See, I've wanted to make a video about collectible minifigures. I wanted to do a brick theory about it for so long, and then more series came through, and I'm like, is it even valid anymore? I don't know. I've subtly hinted at it through Instagram, but not much beyond that. All right, no problem. I'm glad you arrived for Space Baby. I welcome your presence. Have a good one, Rye. Have a good day. Take care. Hope all goes well with work. Yeah, I'm definitely hoping I get the dinosaur suit guys soon, and I'll let you know. Space Porta Potty. So, we have 2 faces. We have one making a call with a headset, one just smiling, and they write that LEGO minifigures have too much aggression because they're so many more angry faces and smiley faces. I remember that article. It was a couple of years ago. I don't know how much truth you could say to it, or if it's still prevalent now. So, we have the not sports affiliated sports logo along the bottom of the feet, where it has that little mountain look. Sport right there. That's kind of its own little pseudo brand in LEGO. It's been in LEGO City. It's been in collectible minifigures before, and probably long after this, for all I know. So good printing along here. The yellow doesn't come through as gracefully as everywhere else with being printed on black, but it is still on there, still all together there, no problem. Then we have our calling cards in yellow and white, or yellow and red. They're just, tiles. Appropriate. We have a watch on this side and a watch on this side. I'm not exactly sure which is which. Maybe one of them is a stopwatch, but I don't know. This one does say 45 on it. So as far as any sort of printing, there we have it. If I do need to adjust anything during this video, let me know as well while it's live. We also have a little more detail of the of the torso. So it's not your traditional American football referee look, but I think it still works. I think it still looks great. Um, there has technically been a football referee in Lego before with Lego Sports Line when they first had the football and soccer sets. Um, that being said, they weren't really common because they weren't released in the official sets. They were more of like a small bag. And I believe a Coca-Cola promotion had a whole bunch of these small poly bags, the kind of thing that, yeah, by nowadays it makes sense to put them in the CMF. But it just makes me yearn for more Lego sports. And Lego games kind of has some rumor going around that hopefully we will see return of Lego sports in some way. You had the Lego foosball table released recently and then discounted recently. So I'm going to leave it at that. And we'll move on to our next one. Yeah, Space Baby was definitely the first one on my list that I wanted the most. The dinosaur is second that I wanted the most. Oh, I really broke that apart. And we have another referee. Yeah, okay. Always good to have another football. Always good to have another referee. You could always change the outfit. I think it's gender neutral enough that it'll work. You do have a little bit on the sides, but that's more of like a mesh instead of it being a body lining kind of thing. I think it's fine. So we have 3 duplicates and 6 we've already opened and built. So we're halfway through the series. What else we got? We're bound to get more duplicates though, but I don't know by how many. There we go. And according to Brickset, the Conservationist is our minifigure right now. This is a minifigure that includes a koala piece, which is brand new. So that by itself is, again, a good bang for your buck. As far as the figure, we have a newish. It technically might have been released before, but maybe with just different colors and prints. But I'm not entirely sure. Or it just feels much newer to me now. We have 2 faces on here as well. So one where his eyes are closed, but he's smiling. And the other one that you see in most media, where he's just facing forward like that. If you want to see it without the hair, there we are. And rescue along the back, aligning with the rescue line that we just had in City not that long ago. We've got a leak or a branch, whatever you want to call it. Printing on the torso is fair. Nothing too exciting. I do like the another dual molding for the arms in bright green and black. And the legs look pretty good. It reminds me of the hiker legs, but they are different. They are distinctly different from them, especially around the belt area, remember? So that works fine for me. And now for the main show. Definitely the reason to get this would be the koala itself. Not the koala bear. It's not a bear. It's marsupial, so it's not a mammal, technically. It has 1 clip arm attachment in the front, simulating both hands, which is kind of clever, kind of neat. Looks a little awkward here and there on it, but still gets the point. Still gets the job done. 1 stud attachment along the bottom, similar to the dog that we saw earlier. And of course, we fit a piece of bamboo in his hand. I said leek earlier because I have also seen this listed as a leek or a branch, stem of a carrot. Yeah, looks pretty good, pretty cute. When I first went to Build-A-Bear Workshop when I was a kid, I went there for my birthday one year. I wanted to get the koala. Why get a bear? The koala is cool. I remember dressing it up. I believe this was 5th grade specifically because I remembered I also got him an entire Yankee outfit, like he was a baseball player. I actually wasn't watching sports a lot that time, but I do remember being around the Yankees, you know, especially my 5th grade teacher was a big fan of the Yankees. So that was fun. That was cool. Welcome into the stream. Let's see what we got next. Going right through it. Ah, here we are. It's our dinosaur. Our T-Rex costume fan, as it's called. Checklist out of the way. Here are our parts. You get 2 tails out of this one. So feeling the packs, you're not feeling double. Well, I mean you are, but nothing unusual about that, at least for right now. I actually kind of find that interesting that there's 2 of these instead of 1, but okay. Ordered a whole box of them. Yeah, I didn't actually find a legitimate, box in the store. They were just sitting on the shelf. So I found them on both the end caps and at the checkout near the register. So you can make the tail swirl up if you wanted to, or the natural way that most images have it, that is curling down, like so. We do get 2 expressions on this figure as well. One of them a little more, I'd say, determined, maybe just having a good time, really getting into the role of being a dinosaur. And then a little friendlier smile. Kind of more generic on that side, but one you see in most images. And then our head itself with some printing along the top for the eyes, the scales, and the painting along the mouth, which is good. I do like that. That's one thing I've learned over the past month or two between official and knockoff Lego dinosaurs. The real ones have the colors in for like the talons and the teeth, so that extra attention to detail is easier to tell them apart. I do like that there's printing all the way around for this figure. It does match up very nicely. I believe I'd seen one image already online where somebody had this lined up with one of the standard T-Rex figures from Jurassic World, and looks pretty solid. Looks pretty good. As a $5 figure, I think the one thing it's lacking is some sort of accessory. It could have had like a sign. It could have had, I don't know, even if there's like a leaf piece or something for it to go through, perhaps, that might help. Because otherwise, you're having this extra tail is nice, but I don't think that's intentional. It's not part of the assembly like some other things in here are. Figures like this one and this one have a lot more pieces to them. This one even having a couple. This one, it's mostly just about the tail and head. So take that as you will. And marking on Brickbat. There we go. Live. It's all live. We're doing it live. All right. I don't think I've done a pack opening this way in quite some time. I've done them from the car. I've done them on my own before. And we have an original one here. Yeesh. How many are in a box? They still do 60 in a box because they've reduced how many figures there are. There's 12 in a series as opposed to 16. That's the word. That's the number. So we have an original figure here now. We've got the Robot Warrior and a lot of little pieces to go through. So there's probably a couple of extra ones, which is nice. What's also nice here is that all of the 1x1 tile pieces are printed. We have several different roller skates, 4 of them, and I think we only need 3 in the actual build. We've got some sand green 1x1 tile, or 1x1 plates. We got an extra one of these mini pig plate things, tiles, modified tiles, whatever you want to call them. This is one large piece. You'll probably recognize this first and most uniquely out of the whole thing. I'm sure the 1x1s will probably keep running around, so it might be harder to feel the packs with those in comparison. So maybe bank on this one where it has a couple of fine points. These are not flexible. These are rigid, solid plastic. Good to know. Whereas with the tail from the dinosaur, it's more flexible for the plastic. Usually tail pieces are more flexible. All right. This one I'm not entirely enthused about just because the color scheme I have to get used to. But I think there's some merit to it. So there we have it there. It's a basic figure. It's got some arm printing along the sides as well. So that is good to see, as well as some nice leg printing along the sides, which is good. I think this already is worth the value just based on the level of detail that's going into it, as well as the number of parts for assembly. So yep, it does have back printing on the torso, but I don't know if it's really intentional to see it through the helmet. But if you do want to see that, there's how it looks. Not quite on purpose the way it's supposed to be here. So no shoulder piece. Okay. I would have figured there might have been one. This is like the Overwatch style of pistol in dark bluish gray. I don't recall if it's been in that color before, but it's still a versatile piece. Got a whole bunch of connection points on it. So it's always good to have there. You definitely need two of those tiles here pointing upward. One thing I did find interesting is that the printing on here is not always in the same spot of the tile. So you know that little point, you can see it right here. There's that little point where the injection, cuts off while molding it. And on this one, it's on the bottom. So I wonder if it's any different on this one. So this one is kind of like the first one. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. I am a fan of brick-built weaponry when you can actually make it out of several pieces to make a unique design. So yes, it is funny looking at this and saying that it's made out of roller skates, but it's different. It's unique for sure. Definitely the kind of thing that I don't think has been done before. But it does match up the color scheme with the figure very nicely. Getting the sand green and dark pink in there. There we go. There's our extra pieces. Good value from me. Yeah, I would have liked another accessory or so, but I think it already covers it with enough pieces. And again, the map of detail. The side printing is definitely welcomed. We have ourselves another dinosaur. We can rampage 2 dinosaurs around. Now at this point, I'm pretty sure you can make a minifigure version of Rampage, which has already been done to some degree using the gorilla and the lizard, but now we have a dinosaur to go with them. So that's awesome. That is good to have here. Just another thought, another way of playing with them. Alright, this one looks unique because I don't think I've had any dark turquoise up to this point. And I see that reflecting out of the bag. Our next figure is Potter. And not the Herald variety. This one is simply just called a Potter. Which already, I'm digging it. I like what's here. I like these, I think it's dark nougat. Dark nougat elements are good to have here. Good to have an extra one of those as well. And I took pottery in high school. Or I guess technically it was ceramics, but it did involve similar methods like pottery and using clay. Some good printing on there with a couple of tools on the pocket on the torso. You got some smock detail here, some little clay that fell off and smeared. It is unfortunate though. This is supposed to be the same color as the hips, which you can see from the sides. Doesn't really work. I mean, I don't mind that it doesn't. I don't mind it doesn't cover up here because yeah, it would just normally come down the front. That'd be fine. It's just that printing on the dark turquoise does not match up as well here. Maybe you could say it's from more clay or something else. I'm not sure. We have 2 faces on this minifigure. One with an eyebrow up expression. One with an open mouth expression. And then we have our hairpiece, or rather, I don't know what it's actually called. It's a headpiece. It wraps around the hair. Doesn't actually show any hair because you don't want that to get in the way. That is a new element, as far as I'm concerned. Having a nice leaf detail on there as well, and in dark turquoise. For our table, as we saw in the back of the instructions, it's a simple build, but a good one nonetheless. Especially for this kind of pack. Because you get two of these jumper round tiles, and then you get the case of 36. Okay. So that's technically 3 whole series if everybody's distributed the same way. That's good. And I do like it that you have like two different pieces of ceramics that you can make out of the figure. And you have 2 nice bowls. You know, these are nice even just in that color to use in other areas. You could use that with, you know a whole bunch of kitchenware in that color. Because I don't think we got those pieces in those colors before. I'd say that one's a good value as well. Good for the $5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more packs to go. Another reminder that we're almost there, but we still got a few more figures to find. Before I even look in here, we still need the carrot mascot and the orc. That's it. Only 2 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sweet. Space Baby again! There we go. Well done. Space Baby has arrived again with a playmate. Obviously, yes, it would be nice to have multiple colors, but having 2 in the same color is not anything wrong. I'm not going to build the rest of this action. I was so excited I was about to build this, but I will I'll leave that alone. The head, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned before, it's standard grain, hollow stud, no alternate printing, even though I kind of think it could have used it. There's nothing wrong with having another Benny-like face on another spaceman figure, right? I don't know. I'm going to put that one to the side, especially, because out of anybody in the series, it's that one that's the most exciting. All right, 4 more packs. Here we go. Only need 2 more unique figures, and this is another dinosaur. Another T-Rex costume. To be fair, good to have more than one. And I actually like that they made this one specifically because I guarantee this is why they made it. Aside from being another costume figure, which there's no shortage of those in CMFs, there's also that particular costume of dinosaur that's really cool because you remember the inflatable ones, right? Like around Halloween or so, people wear the inflatable dinosaur costumes. That's what it reminds me of. And I will definitely play dress up with a few of those with other figures sometime later. We have another referee. Okay. That's our 3rd referee. So we had 3 for the T-Rex. We had 2 for the baby and astronaut. We had 3 for the referee. And 2 for the newspaper kid. Those are our duplicates so far. And the 2 for the falconer. Open it up. Let's see what we got. I'm going to move some pieces back. There we go. That looks new. Red cape. It's got to be the orc. I think I'm going to have another minifigure that I'm going to have to get multiples of. Because way back, we're talking a couple years back, there was a troll minifigure that was in the collectible minifigures series that I really enjoyed. And I got multiples of them on purpose. In the packs, and even after the series was over, when they were just out in the wild, I got multiples of those. And I've wanted to make a castle mock using those as a main point to it for some time. These orcs are kind of leaning in the same way. I like the way they look. I think there's potential making multiples of them. What I think an army figure is great in CMFs, it's that you can take any of these parts and either mix them with somebody else or just reduce the ones that are here and make a different figure on its own. So, for a little bit of context, this is a rubbery piece, a flexible piece. When you feel the pack, keep that in mind. It does have 2 points up here for the ears, 2 points in the front for the teeth, a little rounded towards the back. So you can use that in other ways. Before we get the rest of it on, here's a look at our torso. You got some arm printing as well. And a very similar matching printing on the other side. It's got the same kind of like marking idea, but it is actually unique. This one having a different design than this one. And then on the left hand, it's 2 bones. Right hand, it's 3 bones. And then we have our continued printing along the back. Cool. Very good. I also particularly like these because these are the kinds of trolls that have the same emblem and here's a cool look at that without the jaw line. See how that looks on there. These have the same emblem along the arm, torso, and shield as in the fantasy era castle trolls. So I am particularly fond of these because I am fond of fantasy era castle. That is my favorite castle line. I do like many other ones in all their different ways, but this one in particular, I always gravitate towards. I would love to build more of them. I would love to collect all of them. There are some really expensive ones, though, unfortunately. Medieval market for sure, but even the base sets can get expensive. So there's our look at our shield, having a similar skull design. A regular troll-like sword. It's been a lot of different troll sets and castle sets across the board. Even some pirate sets, I believe, had these, if I remember correctly. The design on top is similar to Ninjago Masters of the Mountain, where they use a 1x1, a spare one included. This one I'd say is a goodish value for the $5. You can make multiples out of these as it is. You can make multiples out of these taking a few parts away, whether it's the capes or the jawline or anything like that. Yeah, there's some variety to it. There's some flexibility with the parts that lends itself to army building very easily, similar to the Falconer. So only left, we have 1 pack. Please, please let this be the carrot mascot. This is all we need. This is all we have left. And okay. Okay, I will have to go back to Target at some point and pick up more of those. And then feel carefully for the carrot mascot, which has a large piece, so it shouldn't be that difficult. But we have our second rocking horse rider. So, yeah, another rocking horse is good to have. The rest of the minifigure, you could always use the torso somewhere else. A lot of the other pieces could be used somewhere else, but just a little blah for me, personally. So, we have everybody except for one, the carrot mascot. We have 11 figures here. We had duplicates of the Falconer, the Newspaper Kid, the dinosaur T-Rex costume fan. I just keep calling him generically the T-Rex, the dinosaur one. Yep. Hello.
What's your status? You're still in pajamas from earlier?
Yeah. What about it?
Okay. I'll take a nap and then he'll be done.
No, I already took a nap.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I have shoes on, but I'm about to take them off.
Yeah. I just walked him around the circle.
So I go all the way to this freaking cat, and I'm like, usually I gotta clean the dishes.
Mm-hmm.
So presumably this cat is fed at 9-ish in the morning, which she didn't want me to come today at 9, and 5. So whatever, I'm there, 5:30, and I'm like,